Arizona's Papers, Please law was signed last week, and while that can be seen as an impressive accomplishment for the right wing of the Republican Party in that state, flexing its legislative muscles, it also really puts the rest of the Republican Party in the country on the spot. Suddenly, everyone in the party is expected to go on record now and say what they think about Arizona's way out there anti-immigration law. And while the people on the far right of the party who like that law may be excited about that, it is not a recipe for party unity. Take, for example, Tea Party favorite Marco Rubio, the guy who just forced Charlie Crist out of the Republican Party for being too moderate. Marco Rubio released a statement about the Arizona Papers, Please law, which said in part, quote, "I think aspects of the law, especially that dealing with reasonable suspicion, are going to put our law enforcement officers in an incredibly difficult position. It could also unreasonably single out people who are here legally, including many American citizens." So the single most recognizable candidate associated with the Tea Party movement nationwide has just come out against the Papers, Please law. Will all of his supporters in the Tea Party movement also be speaking out against this new law now? You know, all those people protesting too much government intrusion into our lives? If you're really for small government, you'd think they'd be lining up alongside the Tea Party hero, Marco Rubio, to denounce any law that compels people to stop people on the street and demand to see their papers, a law that presumes you're illegal unless you can prove otherwise. Talk about big government, hoo boy. So far, though, not a peep from the Tea Partiers, which is how you get caught out for not actually believing what you say you believe. When you are confronted with a big national story that directly speaks to the thing you say you're concerned about, too much government, and you say nothing, it starts to look like maybe your movement is less about your stated principles and more about something else.
Are you in the Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, Karl Rove camp that this law that Jan Brewer signed in Arizona goes too far, is unenforceable, or lots of questions around how it will be enforced? Or are you in the McCain, Kyle, Brewer camp in support of the law? Which camp are you in?
I think that's a false choice.
How is that a false choice?
Because no one is going to accept the lawlessness. First and foremost, we're a country of laws. Now, are you asking whether I think that America is a country of opportunity? Absolutely. Are we a country built on immigrants? Absolutely.
I'm asking if you agree with Marco Rubio that the law goes too far. That's what I'm asking.
Listen, I can tell you this. I am for making sure that America remains a country that stands of freedom and opportunity for everyone.
And the son of former Congressman Duncan L. Hunter, who succeeded his father representing the California 52nd, now saying he would support the deportation of natural-born American citizens if they were born to undocumented immigrants on the grounds that they cost too much and because their souls are insufficiently American.
It's between $10 and $20 billion in this state that we spend on illegal immigration. Like he said, it's health services, that's education, and jails. We just can't afford it anymore. That's it. And we're not being mean. We're just saying it takes more than walking across the border to become an American citizen. It's what's in our souls.
Congressman Hunter, whose father once pointed to the glazed chicken as proof of the good treatment at Gitmo, is proposing overturning the part of the United States Constitution that conservatives are so fond of citing as defense against liberal tyranny. The 14th Amendment, Section 1, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Dr. Vertrosh has a plan for illegal immigrants. Quote, I think we should catch them, we should document them, make sure we know where they are and where they're going. I actually support microchipping them. I can microchip my dog so I can find it. Why can't I microchip an illegal? Dr. Pat, medical experimentation on societal scapegoats? Never heard of that before. Vertrosh, today's worst person in the world. Call it a death pedal.
I'm Tim James. Why do our politicians make us give driver's license exams in 12 languages? This is Alabama. We speak English. If you want to live here, learn it. We're only giving that test in English if I'm governor.
I have seen, and I've been very disappointed and discouraged recently, about some people playing what, as I would call, the race card against profiling. So how do you build a profile? What kind of profile am I talking about? Where I think, for example, ethnic background is a legitimate component of it. It is a huge mistake for us to allow political pressure by a very select number of people to give any kind of commitment that we will not allow ethnic background to be considered. Once you begin to use ethnic profiling as a component, one of several components to build a profile, I think it is very legitimate. I think it's smart.
The state of Arizona is acting and doing what they feel they need to do in light of the fact that the federal government is not fulfilling its fundamental responsibility to secure our borders. It's the people whose homes and property are being violated. It's the drive-by that are the drivers of cars with illegals in it that are intentionally causing accidents on the freeway.
You know that freeway?
Are they just against the people on the right? They're only against big government when it's not doing what they want or it's doing what they don't want.
Exactly, that's right. It's kind of libertarianism for me, but authoritarianism for other people. I mean, the truth is that for all the talk that it's high taxes that tend to lead to government abuse, to government kind of breaking into people's homes and stopping people on the street, the reality is the two things don't have much to do with each other. It's politically vulnerable minorities historically in our country who get roughed up by abusive government. That's what's happening in Arizona now, and the Tea Party people don't seem to care.
We cannot enact immigration reform without first fixing our broken borders. We've tried everything to keep illegals out, from volunteer Minutemen to lining the border with our crappiest states. But nothing, folks, nothing is working.